Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is a landscape stream. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that, guys. Listen, I'm still not done with the studio, but I managed to get some things together here today to, get it looking a little bit better. You guys can tell me what you think so far. I still have to paint that back wall, but that light there is an awesome new light I just got from the TikTok shop that has all kinds of like little filters and colors and everything. So there you go. Welcome back to True Crimes of Scientology with Nora Ames, and it's me, your host, Nora Ames. Yeah. So look, guys, I got some decor. I've got the light, and moi. There we go. There we go. I might have to reposition my ring light a little bit, but I think it's okay so far. But yeah, gotta work on some things. Still tweaking, guys. I have to paint that back walls. Anyway, moving on. It looks better. Everyone's back. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for waiting. It's going to be, we're back to business here in the landscape mode. I'm still going to go vertical occasionally because that's fun, but we're back. We're back to Landscapeville here. Guys, we got some stuff to cover. You saw the thumbnail. Okay. And I had something sent to me that I thought was very insightful, very insightful. It is an assessment that is done, with a therapist to evaluate the validity of the psychological maltreatment of women. Okay, it's the PMWI. Wow. What? Merry Christmas. Actually, yes, Merry Christmas to me. Thank you for this super chat. That's wild. Thank you. Thank you so much. Feliz Navidad and Merry Christmas Kwanzaa. Thank you. Yes, let's start out there, Lanakin. Let's this morning, guys, I was in court with the two cases, Anthony D'Amato versus me, aka Zero Dark Tony, and me versus Zero Dark Tony. So just to wrap this up in a nutshell, guys. Can you tell I'm a little disappointed? Yes, I am. But also kind of relieved at the same time. So let's just talk about this real quick. This is now the fourth or fifth hearing that we've had. Neither side has presented any evidence at all, in this matter. And when I brought my case to the court, it was approved, but then you still have to serve the other party, right? It was asked several times during the course of these hearings that Anthony accept alternative service. Literally, sir, we're talking about it. You know about it. We'll email you the documents. He, via his lawyer, Timu Tamer, refused. Absolutely total refusal. Then, of course, he had his criminal trial coming up in him versus Solomon. And no, actually, it's not him versus Solomon. That's an incorrect statement. It's the state of California that's prosecuting him right now for 26 violations of a restraining order that Solomon was able to obtain. 2 of those counts, 24 of the counts are violations, straight up violations of the restraining order. 2 counts are of stalking a minor and 2 counts for child endangerment. And so he had done every, guys, and I do mean every continuance known to man in that case. And then the devil came due. He did not show up for the case. His bail was gone from $50,000 to $500,000. And now he has a bench warrant out. So we all found out that day that even despite the day before court driving around on his little Ducati, scoot, doing a live stream, totally coherent, totally fine, he checked himself into, he 5150'd himself, essentially. He checked himself into the hospital. The hospital then put him in a facility somewhere in the greater Los Angeles area. They have many mental health facilities there. Okay. And then I had another court date and I thought, okay, his time is up. Just kidding. He transferred from the first medical facility, which, by the way, online, it's like really bad. He transferred to another one, so that restarted like the 30-day clock. Meanwhile, his criminal case met again, and the only info I have on that is that the prosecutor and his other lawyers in that case met in judges' chambers, and there is no future date set for that criminal trial as of right now. Now, yesterday, Timu Tamer emailed my lawyer and said, I'll just read it to you kind of like in brief here, but his lawyer emailed my lawyer and made an offer. And I want you guys to hear this email, and then you tell me if I misinterpreted it or if they wrote this in a way that absolutely, it means what it says. Oh, hang on. That's not the right one. Where'd it go? Here it goes. Okay. It's a very short email. It says, my client, this is from Tamer, my client will be requesting a dismissal without prejudice of the above referenced matter at the December 11th hearing. So that means that Tony was he was bowing out. He wasn't going to try to keep getting the restraining order against me. Had nothing to do with the restraining order I'm trying to obtain against him. These are two separate matters, right? So we were like, okay, cool beans. My lawyer basically came back to him, hey, listen, I'll tell you what. That sounds great. And I'm not going to come after you for fees if your client agrees to alternative service in Nora's restraining order. No answer. None. No response. So today in court, Tamer shows up, of course, late, doesn't know how to use his computer, etc. And then we had a different judge, right? But he didn't hear the announcement because he was late and all this other bullshit. And when it came time to start talking about what we're doing, then as soon as Tamer found out that I want to go forward with my restraining order, this is disingenuous. We made her client a great offer, and she's hiding evidence, and she deleted this, and she's and I was like, what? So no, just kidding. We're not. Yeah, I know. A dismissal without prejudice means we're just ending now, but you can come back, right? So then the judge had to interject. Sir, please stop. He's like, I don't know if you heard this earlier before the record, and he reannounced his name. He's like, I have done, because we're not seeing a judge. We are seeing basically a lawyer who's now the decider, acting as a judge, right? So this guy's like, well, full disclosure, Mr. Tamer and I have gone up against each other several times in court. And if you're fine with me deciding this matter, will you stipulate to me being the judge? And Tamer was like, absolutely not. So now we're up Schitt's Creek. So now we are literally, they went through 2 cases, boom, boom, done. We are it. Now we're tying up this court's time. Okay. So already they don't like us. So now they're like, we have to get another judge. Okay. Let's take a break. Oh, first they had my lawyer and Tamer try to talk to each other for 15 minutes to come to an agreement. Right. That didn't work. So now we got to get rid of the judge. We got to get another judge. This judge came in as if we had just taken him from his lunch break where he is watching the finale of every single Vanderpump show ever, hot, just yelling at everybody, stop talking, no thank you, roar, right? So the first ruling he did is he was like, listen, your client's not here, where you're basically get fucked. your case is dismissed without prejudice. Then it came time to talk about my case. And there's some sort of technical something. Like, I don't understand how all the evidence we've provided from my viewpoint of multiple attempts at service, trying to give the history of this man who avoids service like, it's a fucking clean shower. And the fact that he has a bench warrant out and he's hiding out in a mental facility isn't like enough for this judge to go like, wow, okay, this guy seems a little skeezy. Let's move forward with your case. Because like clearly he's skirting the law all over the place, but he was just fucking annoyed. And so he was like, he cited a statute and blah, 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 and dismissed my case also without prejudice. So here's the silver lining. Tony's case against me is dismissed. That was the number one goal. I got that mission accomplished. My life is my own. I can say whatever I want about whatever. But my case also got dismissed. So what does that mean going forward? I don't know. God, I learned a lot, guys. I learned a lot about the law and other things. I have to blow my nose. Please hold. I'm going to mute. No, it didn't mute. There we go. I learned a lot about the procedure of law and how long these things take and like the amount of money that getting a process server to go serve somebody and like all the shit. And like right this second, in a few weeks before Christmas, and trying to, pump out as much content as I physically, humanly possibly can. My focus is on this. My focus is on getting truth out there. My focus is on that. My safety right now, because the whole reason of getting the restraining orders, I was unsafe, right? My safety right now is good. Okay. He's in a mental institution. And I want to say this about that, because AARON Smith-LEVIN spends a lot of time demonizing mental health care, demonizing medicine, demonizing therapy, and literally shaming me as the example of, if this is me, if I am the product of therapy, then no one should get therapy, says the man who's facing 2 charges, who's adulterer, who's a self-professed batterer of women, who has never done therapy. Okay. Yeah. I sincerely hope, this is facts, Tony, if you're watching there from wherever you're at, I sincerely hope that Anthony is availing himself of every single thing that is offered to him. Every modality, cognitive behavioral therapy, EDMR, fucking mushrooms. I don't know if they do that in California. They do that here in Oregon. Ketamine, whatever. Do all of it. Okay. Start working on yourself. Meditation, all of the things. I mean that sincerely. Okay. Because, all of that activity and behavior it's not healthy for anybody. You know what I mean? And so sincerely, I do hope that Anthony is getting the mental health help that he needs. So good for him. I also hope, this is my sincere hope, that he is eventually arrested, put on trial, and that the results of that trial will be done in a just manner, where he can present his defense just like you're supposed to be able to in America. Okay? Because that's the whole point, right? So yeah. That's I just so everyone knows, I'm not going to now start a whole thing about Anthony. But I am free to talk about him now. So if somebody mentions his name or asks a question, I will, wholeheartedly answer that. But my focus, guys, as you guys can see from the thumbnail, is exposing the number one abuser in our little tiny solar system here of anti-Scientology, because I saw a lot of comments on Liz Gale's TikTok live this morning. And I want to say this. Standing up and exposing abuse whoever is doing the abuse is not above reproach. They are not above being held accountable for their actions. Okay. There is no universe in which women, especially, should be standing shoulder to shoulder with an abuser, using their clout, their name, their reputation, not only to protect an abuser, but to attack anyone who's telling the truth about the abuser. And we're going to, I made my little tiki-taki. I'll show you guys later. But yeah, people are like, why are you doing this? What does this have to do with Scientology? Everything. This has everything to do with Scientology. Okay? Because Scientology, the cult I grew up in, teaches you from a very young age, okay, that everything that happens to you, okay, if a car hits you, you get a cold, your mom yells at you, you trip on the sidewalk, you get a bad piece of meat from the deli, okay, everything that happens to you is because somewhere in the eons and eons of your past, you did something that caused that pain that you're now receiving to come right to you and hurt you. Okay? Even if you get robbed at gunpoint, you did something to either that robber themselves or someone similar to them to cause that incident to happen to you. Okay? What this does to a psyche, right, when you ultimately believe this, right, is there's no accountability. There is no apologizing. There is no taking responsibility. Okay? So even in the case of a perpetrator and a victim, okay, they made a film about it. Mitch Brisker has talked about this. You can go talk to him about it. He directed it. He did the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to refer to him on that. But it's called The Auditor. It starred Jason Begay. Okay. This film is about a space captain who is marooned on a piece of shit moon by his entire crew. And he's just like, rah, 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 my crew is a piece of shit. La, 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 la. So, of course, on this random, outpost moon, there's, of course, a Scientologist just happens to be waiting there, look at me. I work on this outpost. Aren't you lucky? And they get to talking, and he uses the e-meter and starts interrogating this guy, right? And at first he's talking about everything everybody else did. And then finally you find out via this interrogation that this space captain was marooned because he raped his first mate, this woman, the only woman of the crew. And they thought, fuck you. Get the fuck off this ship. You're not the captain now, right? That seems logical to me. Like, hey, you're in the middle of outer space. Your space captain is a fucking piece of shit who's making it unsafe for your crew. Get the fuck. I would have just popped him right out the airlock. Done. They were nice. They put him on a fucking, an actual space station. Right? The conclusion that the Jason Begay character comes to, I don't remember his name. It's not Jason Begay. Don't start rumors. The conclusion that he comes to isn't, wow, I fucking committed a crime. That's why I got kicked off by my crew. I shouldn't crime. I should make it up to this woman or do some penalty or whatever. No. The conclusion he comes to is that she should get some auditing also, and she'll feel better. Because now we need to find out what her crimes are, right? Because she wouldn't have had a crime committed on her unless she had already done crimes. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to be obsessively staring at my hair that is growing out so awkwardly right now. I apologize. Anyway, um, there's that film, and then there's, of course, the film that Danny Masterson starred in as a teen, also directed by Mitch Brisker. The use of a doll in an auditing session in which Danny Masterson's character also rapes someone. Seems to be a theme with AARON. Seems to be a theme with AARON that we are justifying rape all the time. That rape isn't actually rape because no crime can actually be committed without your pre-crime having happened, right? So it's like in Scientology, you get this weird idea that you have given your cosmic consent for these things to happen to you because you already did something, right? Right? So we have Aaron, we have Danny Masterson, we have Gavin Potter, and a lot of other examples that have yet to be named who have behaved in this manner their whole life, who have over and over and over again harmed people. Okay? A lot of sexual assault and of women and children has happened inside Scientology where the child or the woman is blamed, saying, and the phrase is, thank you for putting that in the chat there, Shats, you pulled it in. And you are asked, what did you do to pull it in? Okay? Because a crime can't happen to you if you don't have crimes. Okay? So let's go along with that logic here. So now we have AARON Smith-LEVIN, who's raised in this buffoonery, fucking total mindfuck, just like all the rest of us. Marries his wife, has children, but now is, not in love with his wife, whatever. Doesn't want to sleep with her anymore. They don't get along. It doesn't matter. But stepping out on her, that's not a crime. It's only a crime if like something bad happens, right? Because if there's no consequence, then it's fine. If there's a consequence, then maybe he did something like way back on the, in other lifetimes. Right? And we heard it over and over again in his various videos that, Jenna did this, Jenna did that. We heard it before. Lindsay did this, Lindsay did that. Juliana did this, Juliana did that. Never once taking responsibility. Actually, I'll take that back. When I watched the video with him of him throwing Juliana into the wall, he's like, yeah, that's me. I did that. One time he ponied up some ownership. Okay. Oh, does Heather think she has pulled it in? I don't know. In general, I'm going to be honest with you guys. In general, I have left the topic of Heather Smith-LEVIN far off the table. Okay. Like not even on the menu. And that is out of respect for her as a human being. And yeah, thank you, Dylan. Thank you. If you walk out of this room after seeing this film and walk out and never mention Scientology again, you're perfectly free to do so. It would be stupid, but you can do it. Mm-hmm. You can jump off a bridge or blow your brains out. Yeah, those are real lines from the orientation film. Yeah. So I want to say this very quickly. Okay. I knew Heather when we were in this year. We were not besties. We were not super close. I want to make that abundantly clear. I knew her in a very cursory fashion because she was in a very much higher ranking organization than I was, if we believe in such things. I was across town at the Celebrity Center, and she worked mainly in the blue buildings, but like part of the Commodore's messengers. Okay. So when I saw Heather and we saw each other in the street, I have to say, hi, sir. Like that was our relationship. But she knew my mom, and I will say this: my mom is very fond of Heather because while my mom was training to become a Class 8 auditor case supervisor, right? Which is like the highest that a civilian can get before you have to join the fake space navy. There was a lot of bullshit like being thrown at my mom. And Heather, in her capacity in her job, really pushed for, the correct things scientologically, okay, to happen for my mom. She had my mom's back. Let's put it that way. There were some people who were really coming for my mom hard, especially after I left the fake space navy, trying to give her shit just because, you know, I left, right? And Heather wasn't having it. And I really appreciated that. That Heather was one of the few people in the Sea Org who didn't treat me and my family with total disdain and disgust after I had left. And we kept in touch after she left. We kept in touch about our babies. I would text her and Aaron throughout the years. I saw her very briefly when I was in Clearwater in 2015. How I would describe her when we were in the fake space navy together is she was fierce. She was somebody, she walked in the room, you're paying attention, you're listening, and she got shit done. Right. Now, she has spent the last 23, 25 years married to that abomination of a person wearing a human suit, who we have 3 people on record talking about the abuse that he's inflicted on them in just a few years. I cannot even imagine going through anything approximating that for 20 plus years. So when people ask, why doesn't she do this? Why doesn't she do that? Bah, 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 bah. You have to understand that she is under constant narcissistic sociopathic abuse. Okay. And she has 3 daughters to protect, and if anyone has ever been in a domestic violence situation, that when you're in the thick of it, you have to say the right things and do the right things in order for the bad things to not happen. One day, I hope that we do hear from Heather. She's also not a public person, guys. She doesn't want to be on the internet. That's not her jam. And that's the other reason why I've never done a whole story about it. And I don't intend to do a story about it. I just wanted to relay my personal affection and respect for her as a human being. I hope sincerely, I hope sincerely that she is safe, that she can get away and be divorced and be done with Aaron forever. And finds someone deserving of her to love her for real. That's my truest hope for her, and I am here for anything she needs. She has my number. But I don't, I haven't reached out to her during this time. The last time I called Heather was when Aaron was arrested in Los Angeles because nobody else had her number. And I was like, well, I guess I'm calling Heather. And then Aaron got pissed at me for calling Heather. It was anyway, it's not the point. Yes. If you are, I'm going to pull that up here, Mrs. J. Someone brought that up to me. Let me, I want to put, I should put that up here. Oh, that's an actual place. There we go. Let's just bring this up here. We are going to put some resources up on the screen because that's, guys, this is very, very hard to talk about. It's very difficult, for people to see. Let's do it this way here. So please, guys, there are national numbers. Okay. 24/7. I'm not clicking on that. All right. So you can call this number here, 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233. You can go to this website, which I will put in here. Okay. Please call if you need assistance. Okay. Or if you know someone who needs assistance, please find you. They have an AI chat, they have a text. Okay. Confidential 24/7. All right. Please utilize the hotline.org. Okay. This is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Let's make sure that if you do need help, please get the help. Okay. Help is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no holidays. Okay. Chat, call, do all the things. Okay. Yeah. So today, guys, I got sent to me this assessment. Okay. And I just want to, we're going to go over this and we're going to go over the video that Aaron made today, yesterday. Sorry, I misspoke. Specifically about Mia Kunis and Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson, because I have a few things to say about that. All right, so let's share these. Boop boop boop. Let's share these. This one. So just in terms of like what we're talking about today, okay. This is the PMID that the assessment is based on, right? To evaluate the validity of the psychological maltreatment of women inventory, right? The PMWI 100 women were interviewed. Both PMWI subscales, dominance, isolation, and emotional verbal, successfully discriminated among 3 groups. Physically abused women, which is battered women here, scored significantly higher than both relationship distressed non-abused and relationship satisfied non-abused women. Both subscales were highly correlated with the non-physical abuse subscale. Okay. So this is a scientific study. We're going to go over the questions. I want to reiterate, please, trigger warning. Trigger warning. If you are a survivor of domestic abuse, please, you can absolutely not be here right now. It's totally okay. All right. This is extremely triggering and upsetting. And there's 0% of me. I'm trying to find, well, that one was, I don't know. We'll just try that one. Maybe. No. Let's just take it down here a notch. We'll just do this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to go to the assessment here. Okay. And here we go. So this is the assessment that they give. The answers are on a scale of 1 to 5, never, starting with 1, never, rarely, occasionally, frequently, very frequently, or not applicable. Okay. Now, oh, thank you, Jojo, for putting the UK domestic abuse hotline on there. Okay. Let's go over these questions. And listen, if you're in a relationship and it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on here, think about these questions, okay? My partner put down my physical appearance. So you would answer on that scale. Never, rarely, occasionally, frequently, very frequently. My partner insulted me or shamed me in front of others. Ooh. There we go. I messed something up. Sorry. My partner treated me like I was stupid. Oh, Margard. Hang on. Take 2. There we go. Pew. My partner was insensitive to my feelings. My partner told me I couldn't manage or take care of myself without him. My partner put down my care of the children. My partner criticized the way I look, the way I took care of the house. My partner said something to spite me. My partner brought up something from the past to hurt me. Okay. Now, obviously, guys, we all do stupid shit sometimes, right? So if you're starting to go down like a guilt spiral, Like, oh no, I did a couple of those things. It's like, is this also look, never, rarely, occasionally, frequently, very frequently. Okay. It's like knowing and listening. I'm trying so hard not to do that, Dylan. For all the former Scientologists, I apologize. Yeah, we could look at all of the people online that we're following, that are talking, and do they fall under this category? Hang on one second. Okay. My partner brought up something from the past to hurt me. My partner called me names, swore at me, yelled and screamed at me, treated me like an inferior, sulked or refused to talk about a problem, stomped out of the house or yard during a disagreement, gave me the silent treatment or acted like I wasn't there, withheld affection from me, did not let me talk about my feelings, was incensed to my sexual needs and desires, demanded obedience to his whims, became upset if dinner, housework, or laundry was not done when he thought it should be, acted like I was his personal servant, did not do a fair share of the household tasks, did not do a fair share of childcare, ordered me around, monitored my time and made me account for my whereabouts, was stingy in giving me money to run our home, acted irresponsibly with our financial resources, did not contribute enough to supporting our family, used our money or made important financial decisions without talking to me about it, kept me from getting medical care that I needed, was jealous or suspicious of my friends, was jealous of other men, did not want me to go to school or do other self-improvement activities, did not want me to socialize with my female friends, accused me of having an affair with another man, demanded that I stay home and take care of the children, tried to keep me from seeing or talking to my family, interfered in my relationships with other family members, tried to keep me from doing things to help myself, restricted my use of the car or telephone, did not allow me to leave the house, did not allow me to work, told me my feelings were irrational or crazy, blamed me for his problems, turned my family against me, blamed me for causing his violent behavior, tried to make me feel crazy. Their moods changed radically, blamed me when he was upset, tried to convince me I was crazy, threatened to hurt himself if I left, threatened to hurt himself if I didn't do what he wanted me to do, threatened to have an affair, threatened to leave the relationship, threatened to take our children away from me, threatened to commit me to an institution, right? Called me names, swore at me, yelled and screamed at me. This is like short version. Treated me like an inferior, told me my feelings were irrational, crazy. It's a repeat of the earlier stuff. Okay, that's a very, guys, let's take a moment. That's a very shocking list. Now, if we look at the pattern of behavior of AARON Smith-LEVIN with his various mistresses that we publicly know about and other behaviors, in my personal opinion, there's a lot of check marks there. There's a lot of number fives. There's a lot of number fives on there. Oh, Shats, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, the red flag, it's basically should be called the gigantic red flag list. If you're at a 5 or if you're between a 3 and a 5 on all those things, that's not good. You need help. If you're doing that stuff, if you think that list sounds totally reasonable and like people should just stop being whiny bitches, you should get some help. You should get some help. Okay. Why did we read that? Because science, guys, because science. The way that you expose things, the way that you talk about things matters. Our words and our actions matter. The actions of AARON Smith-LEVIN since leaving, jail have been increasingly erratic. Even prior to jail, it was increasingly erratic, right? Like it was, and I showed you guys a little bit of that yesterday. We went over the earlier protests and the tone of his voice and the way he approached things. Okay. Well, the questionnaire, you're correct, neuropsych, it is used in correlation with other information. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because this man is someone who is it's not my accusations. It's not Jenna's accusations or Lindsay's accusations or Juliana's accusations. He has admitted in all 3 cases publicly on his own channel that he got physical with them. That he threw Juliana into the wall. That he had physical altercations, multiple, with Lindsay over the course of 4 years. That they did get physical in the hotel just before he went live. And in the days just before he was put in jail. So this isn't my deciding, oh, I don't like him. No, this is the facts based on the victims telling the story and the perpetrator, AARON Smith-LEVIN, saying, yeah, I did it. Yeah, did that. No remorse, no empathy, no sympathy, no desire for change, no nothing. Just boop. Okay. And that's why I say I'm not guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a fucking trained therapist. Okay. I'm none of those things. Okay. I'm just me. So when I say, in my opinion, that AARON is a narcissistic sociopath, that is based on, the research I have available to me, online and books that I've read and therapy that I've done. Okay. That is my personal opinion. I'm sticking to it. You don't have to agree with me. It's not a commandment. This is not a cult. Everyone is free to have their opinion and disagree. What I want people to see, and what's my goal in doing this? My goal, which I will restate as many times as humanly possible, is to expose the truth about AARON Smith-LEVIN's abuse and remove him from the ethereal internet position as the go-to source talking about leaving Scientology, because his actions and words are Scientology. Everything that he has been doing, especially in this last year, have only furthered to show what Scientology creates as a human being. AARON Smith-LEVIN is pride, grade A, Scientology beef. Okay? That is, you want to know what it's like, what the end product of becoming a Scientologist is, what you get for what you pay for? AARON Smith-LEVIN. He is, he's not even diet David Miscavige. He's just like, he's the Temu off brand. You got the name brand, and then you got the, the one you get at Trader Joe's, right? So basically, that's what we're dealing with here. He has started his own cult. They are very, very dedicated to him, not to taking down Scientology, to him, because they believe that Scientology can't be taken down without him, which is a fallacy. Okay? There is no singular person who is the thing, the reason that Scientology will be taken down. It's not me. Sure as fuck isn't AARON. It's not any of us. Why? Why do I say that? Because if that were true, okay, if there were one person who could take down all of Scientology, right? Why didn't Quentin Hubbard's death do that? Why didn't Operation Snow White do that? Why didn't, Stacey Moxon's death do that? Why didn't Lisa McPherson's death do that? Why didn't any one of these rape cases do that? Or the child essay that happened do that? Right? Because we are not dealing with simplicity in this way. Right? And these are the things I've learned being in this courtroom and doing these hearings, even though it was a teeny tiny, insignificant civil matter. It taught me a lot about our law system, which is excruciatingly complex. It is not black and white. It is not easy to get justice, even when you have all the evidence in the world to prove it. Why is that? Because human beings. We saw this in the Diddy case, where the jurors looking at Cassie's story of being enslaved as a drugged up sex slave for 10 years was not good enough for them because she went to fancy dinners and took nice pictures with him. So clearly she liked it. Literally, like almost verbatim what one of the jurors said. Like, you just, so confusing. Because we don't understand trauma. We don't understand evil. Unless it's on such a gigantic, barbaric scale that it is easy to point to one singular human, we'll use the Adolf analogy, and go, yes, one of the most evil people on planet Earth ever, he should be dead. No one. Thank you for telling me I say okay all the time. It's not going to make it better. I really apologize that is annoying, and it's probably a speech tick. I don't know. Now I'm distracted. Right. It's easy to point out that Adolf was a singularly evil force, and there's no question in anyone's mind that he deserves everything that he got. Right. But when it comes to the nuance, right? Like, well, is Sean Combs all bad? Did he do some good things? Has he done this? Has he done that? Blah, 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 blah. Well, she seemed she liked it. He bought her all these nice clothes, and like, it's just we conflate things that have nothing to do with anything, right? So a lot of the feedback and a lot of the criticism I get for talking about, I point over there because I have his little window up. You guys can't see it. So I just look ridiculous, like pointing over here, like as if Aaron's right here. Let me just pull him up on the screen here because we're going to be watching this video here in a second. Let me make that a little bit bigger now. Nope. There we go. When I'm talking about this guy, the thing about that is people want to come back to me and say, well, he started 2 foundations and he's helped all these people, and like the propaganda video that Jenna did, right, where she was saying, he's on the phone all day, he's the only one getting all the stories and talking to all the people. Nobody talks to more people than him. Nobody talks to more people. He's just doing all the work, right? You have to understand, when you hear that, that's the same stuff that we would be told in the fake Space Navy about David Miscavige. Here we are, literally slaving away 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, no breaks, beans and rice, cockroach-filled rooms, stacked with bunks, just disgust, just fucking disgust. And we would be like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, you're tired? David Miscavige literally never stops working. And you think that if that man at the very top can keep doing all the things he's doing, you think you could maybe get your disgusting ass off the floor and get back to work, right? So you have this idea in your mind that David Miscavige is literally running himself ragged to just keep Scientology going, right? It's all lies. It's all lies. In the same way, I'm not saying Aaron doesn't work. Okay. I've never hung out with him for a 24-hour period since we've been full adults and out of the fake Space Navy to comment on his work ethic or not. Okay. But we all know we're adults. We live in the real world. It's literally impossible to be online as much as he is, out drinking as much as he is, and fucking as much as he is, and be working all the time. Right. That's just a mathematical impossibility. Okay. So we're going to go over this video that he made about, Mia Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Tony Ortega, I'm going to post it later, but Tony Ortega did a big Substack today. Basically, Danny Masterson's appeal got shot down, which is fantastic. Awesome sauce. I love that. Yeah. But keeping in mind the document that we just read, okay, and those characteristics, I want everybody to look at this through that lens, okay? Because I want you to see the mechanics of a narcissistic sociopath practicer, worldwide champion practicer of Darvo. Let's refresh everybody's memory here on that, okay? Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. DARVO, DARVO. Aaron is his name. Oh, okay. I want you to watch this in real time. Okay. Let's pull him up. Let's bring him up. Here we go. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. No. Come on now. There we are. I'm going to speed him up a little bit. All right.
Image control mode. Cannot escape it. They cannot escape that Danny Masterson stank. They cannot get it off of them. Now, guys, have any of you seen the new Diddy documentary on Netflix? I forget what it's called, but it's like the #1 trending program.
It's the #1 trending program on Netflix. You don't know the name? You couldn't Google it? You can't show a picture up? Like, look, guys, Diddy documentary Netflix. It's like it takes no time. He hasn't watched it. I promise you. Sean Combs, The Reckoning. I watched it. Holy shit. Yeah, there was a lot of things in this that I literally, yeah. A lot of parallels. Let's get back over here. And let me just read out my disclosure one more time. It's scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Clearly, this is fair use. I am here. Look at me. That's Aaron over there. Okay. And, this is a new broadcast of this, but I'm going to read it out anyway, just as I always do. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips the balance in favor of fair use. There you go. Okay, we're going to go back. And here we go.
On Netflix right now, produced by 50 Cent, and it's all about Diddy. Now, Ashton Kutcher can't get the Danny Masterson stank off of him, but he sure is lucky that he got spared in the Diddy documentary, because there was no celebrity out there who publicly made a show of being Diddy's best friend more than Ashton Kutcher. And when you know the crimes, once you know the crimes that Danny Masterson...
more than Ashton Kutcher. Like, what? It's just, he's a little obsessed with these celebrities. And yes, Diddy and Ashton were at one time, friends. Yeah. So.
Was convicted of, and he committed many more crimes than the ones that he was convicted of. And when you know that Danny Masterson...
Did he say committed or convicted? It's too fast. I'm gonna slow him down just a hair.
Because there was no celebrity out there who publicly made a show of being Diddy's best friend more than Ashton Kutcher. And when you know the crimes, once you know the crimes that Danny Masterson was convicted of, and he committed many more crimes than the ones that he was convicted of. And when you know that Danny Masterson was basically one of Ashton Kutcher's best friend, and then you watch the Diddy documentary and you realize this guy was best friends with Danny Masterson and Diddy? Holy cow. Okay, so Ashton Kutcher got spared in the Diddy documentary, but something tells me Ashton Kutcher is not going to get spared in the Danny Masterson documentary being put together by Alex Gibney. Now, I did a video many months ago now talking about the fact that the Alex Gibney, Danny Masterson documentary had been greenlit. I've heard there's been some rockiness on will it happen? Will it not happen? Who will participate? Who will not participate? Boy, I got to tell you, I hope it happens, and I hope everyone participates, because something tells me.
So Alex Gibney is doing a documentary. Whoopity-doo! Hey, Liz.
That documentary will explore how these crimes were allowed to continue over such a long period of time. And yes, there's the Scientology angle. Of course, Scientology covered up for all this. Of course, Scientology made sure the victims didn't go to the police. But it is also people like Ashton Kutcher who are responsible for allowing things like this to continue to occur. Okay, now today we're specifically talking about Mila Kunis. And this was the inspiration for this video is, Mila Kunis and Ashton both got just essentially canceled for not only writing character reference letters for Danny Masterson to the judge after he was convicted. But then in response to the initial backlash, they did sort of an apology video that was pretty much anything but an apology.
For Aaron, who pretends that he's a court reporter, of course they wrote it after he was convicted. This was a character reference to try and get the judge to be more lenient in sentencing. That is oftentimes when those things are presented. It's not like a total weird thing. So, yeah.
Apology video. They refused to apologize or even acknowledge Danny Masterson's victims. Instead, they apologized to all victims of all such abuse everywhere, while Mila was
all lives matter.
Her eyes into the back of her head. Mila had some serious attitude in that video. Anyway, the whole thing was a disaster. Okay, so what prompted today's video? As a part of the damage control image rehabilitation mode, Mila's been trying to do some of these golly gee, I'm just like you sponsorships. And guys, it is not going well.
Okay, so make a note of that, guys. Mila's trying to do some of these golly gee, gee willikers. I'm a person like you. What's this content? What is this? No apology, just making a note. Okay, carrying on.
Will not stop bringing up the Danny Masterson character reference letters. This, what we're talking about today, played out recently on the Instagram account of Vogue. Guys, 51 million followers for the Vogue Instagram account. Unbelievable. I'm going to keep the volume off on this.
Has Aaron never heard of Vogue? Does he not know what Vogue is? Incredible. They have 51 million subscribers. Wow. Like, it's only one of the largest and longest running, beauty publications on planet Earth. I'm surprised they don't have more followers. Anyway.
So this is just sort of a sponsorship. Is it a sponsorship or is it just...
No, she's a Vogue girl. Like you become a Maybelline girl, or like... This man has been married for 25 years and has 3 daughters and doesn't know how the makeup industry goes. Like, this is the point, guys. This is what?
Is it a promo? I'm not entirely sure. But guys, look at the comments here. This is just she's basically just doing a makeup thing. And let's take a look at these comments. Okay. She's talking about how her nose has gotten bigger as she's gotten older. I know why your nose grew. Girl, you're embarrassing. We still know the letter. You and look, these are the top liked comments on this post. You can't cover up the letter. Is Vogue forgetting so fast? That's sad. Unfollowing Vogue now. Girl, we remember the letter and the fact that your husband was at nearly every Diddy party. Boo, get out of here. Bathe your kids. Everyone involved should be ashamed. Don't forget that her husband was one of the best friends of P. Diddy.
Now, note, I want everyone to make a note. Yeah, 50 cents. He doesn't eat, really. Let me... my brain froze. Guys, I didn't watch this yesterday, so my brain is like frozen for a second, just dealing with the stupidity of his comments. I want Aaron to also notice, you see how Vogue, who has 51 million people, and Mia is getting torn to shreds. She's literally getting torn to shreds in the comments. Do they have a moderator or several moderators in there deleting all of the negative comments? Deleting any evidence of people not calling her out for these actions? Oh, hang on one second, guys. I'm going to let him play 1 second.
The letter. My goodness. A grapist defender. Vogue magazine. No, thank you. Seriously? Probably grape. Instagram filtering comments about her defending her ex co-star against certain charges. But we remember over 1,800 likes. Predator apologist. Wow. No cool girl can be a cool girl if she can't stand against an abuser. Nobody cares how a rape apologist contours her nose. The fuck? Guys, it never stops.
No, I do not. Hang on, guys. I'm still here with you guys. 1 second. Good God, guys. Sorry, I had to take that. The doctor called. No, yeah, I have to. It's a whole thing. Anyway, never mind. I'm fine. It's just a test and they had to schedule it. So it's all good. It's all good. It's just, I was like trying to move her along. Like, okay, I got it. Yes, all the things. Please just give me the first date. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to rewind a little bit here. I just want to rewind a little bit here.
The letter. My goodness. A grapist defender. Vogue magazine. No, thank you. Seriously? Probably grape.
I just want you guys to hear how he's reading these things.
Instagram filtering comments about her defending her ex co-star against certain charges. But we remember over 1,800 likes. Predator apologist. Wow. No cool girl can be a cool girl if she can't stand against an abuser. Nobody cares how a rape apologist contours her nose. The fuck? Guys, it never stops. You go through those comments. It is all about Mila defending Danny Masterson.
So, conversely, when I am exposing you for the abuser that you are, those shouldn't stop either. We should just, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. Like, you're congratulating people online for not putting up with someone who's an apologist for a rapist, but see no irony in getting your ex to take down a very truthful video about several truthful videos about you because you want to stay famous. This is my point. We have to watch how he does this, guys. Okay.
I want to remind everybody that after the first Danny Masterson trial resulted in a hung jury. And
that's true. Before you went to LA and got the whole thing.
Before the second Danny Masterson trial, Ashton Kutcher did some public interviews where he said he hoped Danny would be found not guilty. Actually, he said he hoped Danny would be found innocent, which isn't a thing. You're not found innocent. You're found not guilty.
Correct. You're found guilty or not guilty. Actually, you're found, it's not even not guilty. You're found something else.
It's different. And that he was just worried about Danny Masterson's kids because someday his kids are going to read about all this stuff. He was really worried about Danny's kids, not the victim's kids. But this, in my opinion, was an effort to influence the jury. I don't know. Maybe some people might think that's a stretch.
See how easily he can see how criminal and disgusting Danny Masterson is, but doesn't see himself in the same category of human? Doesn't see that his never-ending Darvo abuse of everyone around him is the same exact type of behavior that Danny Masterson went to court and is in jail for.
Let me remind you what he said. Back in the day on that 70s show, Kutcher says Masterson was the leader of the young talent. He'd been in the industry for a while. New reviews and ratings like the ones they were getting didn't happen often. As Kutcher recalls, he's like, one rule, don't do anything stupid to mess this up, because if you mess this up, you mess it up for everybody.
Yeah, Danny, such a pillar of, being a good boy. Just the shining example on the hill of how to be, in Hollywood.
He kept the cast in line, off drugs and away from bad decisions.
Except GBH, which he had copious amounts of. In that way, he's very similar to Diddy. Danny Masterson and Diddy. Right? That's not really drugs because we weren't smoking it. I just, gave it to you in your drink to make it easier for me. Right? Yeah.
Interesting that he says he kept the cast off drugs when what Danny was being accused of was drugging and assaulting his victims.
Still, he's still not picking up the irony here.
Masterson's legal battle is hard for Kutcher to watch. Even after Kutcher left the show, Masterson remained a mentor of his. And
they were on a show together again, The Ranch, that Netflix had to cancel, finally, because Danny Masterson is a prolific multi-raper of women. He's a disgusting, vile human who should never see the light of day outside of a jail again, in my opinion.
The rape accusations were first made public in 2017. Masterson was co-starring with Kutcher in The Ranch, a Netflix sitcom. Danny and Kutcher remain in touch. Kutcher speaks to Masterson's brother often. He says he thinks about Masterson.
Yeah, Chris Masterson, who's trying to just move on as if nothing happened. Got a cute little show going. I'm Chris Masterson. I'm not that Masterson. Sorry, Chris. You're part of it.
Masterson's child and how the internet lives forever. Someday his kid is going to read about this, says Kutcher. At the same time, Kutcher is an advocate for those who've been or are being abused. I wholesale feel for anyone who feels like they were violated in any way.
He can't even read about people's feelings, like with emotion. Okay. Just, yeah.
Now, I'm going to read something for you.
He has a weird head cold going on right now. Also, I just want to make a weird side comment about that. This man got out of jail, instantly went and got drunk somewhere that's not near the Scientology buildings, came home, saw his daughter, was like, hey, you can play video games, whatevs. Apparently, no word on how long she stayed or if she just took off as soon as he got there. And then was like, I'm so lonely. And had to do the booty call while he's sick. Like, that's so fucking rude. I'm sorry. First of all, don't go hang out with anybody if you're sick. Fuck you. COVID is going around. There's another virus that's fucking taking people out. And here you are with wads of snot in your fucking nose, looking like you just jumped out of, a slime pit because you're so sweaty and disgusting. Okay? Don't go hang out with people. And then certainly don't go force your bodily fluids onto a woman when you are sick. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Anyway, I digress.
I want you to keep in mind that Ashton was
talking. He does look sick, guys. He's pasty. That was a burp. I apologize. He's pasty. He looks dewy, like he's clammy. This is not good.
Talking about how he was worried about Danny Masterson's daughter. Reading about
Hang on. Here come the tears. Please observe. I'm going to put it back at regular speed so you can see it in real time. Why are we crying about this? I don't. Let's just watch.
Any of the stuff Danny was being accused of. I'm going to read for you a section of.
Guys, this is Darvo 101. This is a sociopath in action. Oh, yeah. Full Erica Kirk. This is a magnificent, full display of complete sociopathy. This man, 3 days ago, spent 2.5 hours tearing down a woman that he pretended to love for 2 years. Then spent another day threatening her on the phone to get her to take the video down. Then did a video about Liz Gale and her husband because that wasn't good enough. Wants to make sure that all of the women of the land know who the supreme ruler is. And here we go.
The statement that Jane Doe 1 read at the sentencing, and she is talking to and about Ashton Kutcher.
So let me get this straight, everybody. This, okay, maggot-filled garbage truck wearing a human skin suit is now beside himself to talk about the statement that was made by Jane Doe number 1, specifically about Danny and Ashton's cover-up. This gets him. This is abuse. What that tells me is that none of the other things that he has done or said in his mind are abusive in any way, shape, or form. Now, the things that happened to Jane Doe number 1 are unconscionable. They are inhuman. They are cruel, evil. But literally, this is what's bad. Not all the things that he did to Juliana, to Lindsay, to Jenna, to probably Heather, allegedly, supposedly. I don't have any of it, reportedly, I guess, to his daughters, how he talks to them, how he treats them. But we're supposed to believe that a man that we know from reports, from evidence, from even him admitting it, that he has multiple times over years harmed multiple different women. How do you then think we are supposed to believe any moment of you being shocked, upset, or even giving one fucking iota about another prolific abuser's conquests? It doesn't even make sense.
And is specifically referencing that interview and those quotes from Ashton in Esquire magazine. She says, of course, there are many cowards who can just claim they just never saw him rape anyone. That's generally not how sexual assault or how rape works.
That's true.
We know that. For those of you living under a rock who might have publicly stated before this trial they hoped he'd be found innocent,
Yeah,
let me state this.
Oh, they're coming back here. He's choking.
I read that. My own daughters could read that too. I have 3 daughters. But I wonder if Danny's co-star knows that Danny Masterson,
it's a lot,
had my 9-year-old's daughter's name put on an NDA and stated that it forbid her to disclose anything to do with Danny or raping or assaulting her mother.
Like, what? You guys, I'm sorry. Just like the whole, like the mention of the daughter, the super extra choking, moment. And Danny Masters is a fucking monster. Liz Scale says, I think he's crying about his own daughters, that one day they're going to see all the things he did and know what a totally evil piece of shit he is. I don't think he has emotions about that. I don't think that he has like honest emotions. I think that what he said in his earlier video where he said, I don't want kids, I think that's absolutely true. I'll take him at his word. Because that's the moment where you're explaining a lot of stuff. You can absolutely say, I don't want more kids. I already have kids. I wasn't planning for more. I'm done having kids. So many versions. I don't want to have kids with Jenna. And there's going to be his cult followers, guys. His cult followers right now are watching this. Welcome to the chat. Welcome on in. You guys are free to chat. Please, you can, Put your comment or question in there. We'll get to it. Just don't be a dick. Okay. That's the only rule here. But I'm sure they're watching this right now going, oh my God, Nora, you're evil. You're the spawn of Satan. How can you critique a man who's clearly emotional about this horrific crime that happened? Can't you see that it's hurting him to talk about it? No, I don't see that. I see that you see that. And I know that I used to see that when I thought that AARON Smith-LEVIN was an actual human being with human emotions and not a narcissistic sociopath. And somebody added in psychopath in there. Because those type of people, they don't feel actual human emotions. They can mimic them, okay, as part of their manipulation game, as part of their con, right? Look at Lafayette Ronald Hubbard. He showed us all emotions, right? Look at David Miscavige. Look at all the fucking fake Space Navy people. They mimic being human. Look at all of the greatest cult leaders of all time. It's a mimicry. It's not an actuality, right? They don't have the capacity to feel those things. This man does not have the capacity to feel empathy, to feel sympathy. Okay, as evidence by when he read stupidly the text messages that he was reading from Jenna and talked about the pregnancy. And he literally stopped, turned his head from his screen to the camera and said, yeah, that happened. Jenna was pregnant a few months ago. That is not a human being. That's not even somebody who got caught in a lie, whose secret found out. He didn't flush. He didn't change his tone. That is someone who is in my opinion, a narcissistic sociopath, possible psychopath. This is not real. That's what I'm saying. But people in his cult are going to 100% believe that it is real. I got to change my thing, guys. That's my bad. Yeah. It's just, we have to look at it. This is a case study. That's why we went over the thing beforehand. All right, let's turn our focus back here.
Me. Yes, it was my child's name on it, and it includes her as a party and requires her not to disclose. The reason my daughter knew about what this monster did to her mom was the monster himself arranged for the son of one of his friends, one of his homies, one of my daughter's classmates, to tell my daughter, to tell her, to shame her, and say her mommy was a liar and Danny didn't rape her mommy.
Now that's disgusting. Do I think Danny Masterson absolutely did that? 100% I believe it. Because that sounds very Scientology. In the same way that AARON, instead of, doing videos, will just have people like Marilyn, like Cheryl, like Kelly Copter, like Natalie, like Rabbit, come out and say and do things at his behest, which are totally orchestrated and driven by him via secret chats, encouraged 100%. And then you'll have like the fringe people that would just do it because they think they're doing the right thing, like, Susie Oberhortz, right? And who's the other one? And things like that have no problem standing up to an abuser of women or pumping up, rather, an abuser of women. They would rather spend all day talking about me, talking about Liz Gale, talking about any woman, any human who's ever had the fucking brass ovaries, okay, to stand up to this, human dung pile and say, you're an abuser and I'm not going to let you get away with it. I mean, even Marilyn, maybe she's thinking about it. And listen, I'm going to keep saying their names out loud every day. Keep making TikToks showing that they are the women who love abusers of women squad, because that's what they are. That's what they are. Does he carry around Tom Cruise cutout because he wants to be him? He's got the fake emotion down. Maybe. I mean, he definitely wants to be famous. He definitely wants the fame. He definitely wants those accolades because all of the videos have been about him. What did he say yesterday? We'll go over that just to prove it again about the protests and why he has to be there. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up again a little bit.
I still remember the day I picked her up from school, and from the back seat, my child asked, "Mommy, what is rape?" She was 9 years.
It's awful. It's awful.
Old. And she says that she mentioned that in her letter to Scientology's International Justice Chief.
They don't care what you say in the letter. They are just as cruel as this person right here.
Okay, so imagine you're one of Danny's victims, in this case, Jane Doe 1, and you already know that Danny made sure that your young children knew what had happened to you. And then you see Ashton Kutcher making public statements about how sad or unfortunate it would be if Danny Masterson's kid ever had to read about the things Danny Masterson did to people. Okay.
So Ashton Kutcher, as an individual human being, thought, hey, whatever he believes about Danny Masterson, he doesn't believe, that, oh no, she has, Julia. She has. She absolutely has. She's made multiple videos about me. That's totally false. I never said one word about her. There was a miscommunication. I even apologized to her on air. And then she went on. She's never stopped making content defaming me. So that's absolutely false. Please go check the record. I have made 0 videos about Susie. None. And every time I bring up her name, like Beetlejuice, you and a bunch of other people come in here to tell me what a bitch I am. No, absolutely not. She literally jumped down my throat. We had a misunderstanding. We emailed it out, I thought. And then she just kept going. Why? Because she's in this man's cult, just like you are. Right? And I really wish that you would pay attention to the fact that you're in a cult. You're in diet Scientology right now. Because AARON Smith-LEVIN is a practicing Scientologist. He's practicing Scientology on you and on Susie and on everyone else who comes into his chat. Okay? Because that's what he's doing. And Susie will gladly make a video defending AARON. And I would love for you to think about why it's okay with you that she make a video defending this man who is a self-admitted, not my accusations, self-admitted abuser of multiple women, why you're okay with that, but you immediately take umbrage with me saying Susie's going to do that. I really want you to think about that. Just think about it, because it should shed some light on the culty aspect of what you're doing right now. Okay? It's not good. And women who continue to defend and prop up abusers of women should be called out. They should be called out and shamed for doing that. Because that's how those men keep abusing. Because the women around them enable it instead of believing and protecting the women. Well, Julia, prove me wrong then, honey. Think about the question that I asked. Think about the question I asked, because you still haven't answered it. But think about that. Think about why it's okay in your. You didn't even say oh, if Susie does that, that's awful. She shouldn't be defending an abuser of women. Immediately attack me, saying I'm constantly defaming Susie. I haven't said her name in 9 months. I think maybe 10. So that can't be constant. But I know that she's done multiple videos about me in that 10-month period. You see the problem here? You see the like disconnect here, Julia? Okay? We all have to start like really putting on our logical thinking caps. Okay? Because emotions are all over the place. And I get that. I've been very emotional and I'm working on it. These emotions are fake. Okay, here we go. Carrying on.
Okay. Shit, I didn't bring any water out here at all. Okay. And so then even after Danny Masterson was convicted, so we're way past the stage of, gee, I hope he's found innocent or not guilty. It would be a shame if his kids had to.
Again, character letters are for the judge at sentencing. No, actually, that's not why I did it, Jake. Well, let me address your content. Let me address your comment right away here. I stood up for Aaron in the same way that I'm exposing him right now by pointing out the fallacies and falsities of the attacks that were coming, because I truly believed, number one, Aaron Smith-Levin was my friend, first and foremost, and number two, that he was a good person. Actually, I lost a lot of money doing those streams. A fuck ton of money. My channel, okay? So actually, no. And yes, I did it for a long time. And I've already, for the 150th time, taken full accountability for my actions during those times, apologized for having done any of those videos. Okay? And have realized and talked about the error of my ways multiple times. So this narrative, okay, again, this is a propaganda narrative put out by Aaron, by Scott, by Zero Dark Tony, that I am a profiteer of chaos and I will flip-flop as soon as, I go where the wind goes. I'm just a chaos grifter, right? Let me see. What does Janet say here? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. As I understand it, his followers are giving him grace. He was raised in a cult. Yeah, that's just stupid. I was raised in a cult too. What are you saying now, Jake? You mocked his victims endlessly. Just please add that context when you talk about this. I've already done that. So thank you for popping back in like a full year later, Jake. Why don't you get the context, okay? Because you're also not the only person in the audience. This is so much privilege showing here, Jake. Like, I want you to address to me, the one person who you don't know, who's never commented, exactly why you should apologize to me right now. What the fuck? It didn't benefit me. It wasn't for, here's maybe you guys don't understand what it means to be a friend. Here's my definition of a friend, okay? This is my definition of a friend. If I have given you my love and affection, okay, and I feel that you are reciprocating that to me in various ways. We hang out, we talk, I can call you, all of these things, okay, whatever. You are part of my life at that point. You become, you're part of my life, okay? If an outside force starts to try to harm you, and I see, what the fuck is that? I will go to battle with that force. I don't have to be asked. I will just show up. If I find out from a friend of a friend, you were in a car wreck and you're in the hospital, guess who's at the hospital? Me. Whatever time it is. That's my definition of friendship. I will battle for you. Okay? I will fucking battle for you. Now, part of that problem, which is a lot of the stuff that I was working on, is that full devotion, full dedication to my friends has caused me over the years to be very blind. No, my relationship with him was not financial. This is another propaganda line that is absolutely not true. I had no financial relationship with Aaron. I was not on the board. I did not receive a salary from the Fakakta Foundation, okay? I have no financial ties to Aaron Smith-Levin and never have. Okay? So no, again, false. Please listen. Please don't interrupt again, okay? This caused me to be very blind to people's flaws, to people's not great aspects, because I just would be like, nah, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know what this word means, but thank you for the super chat. Have your eco. Have your eco. I don't know what that means. I'll look that up later, but thank you. I truly felt that if I'm someone's friend, you look past stuff. You don't. I mean, I would talk to people about things I didn't like, but you know what I mean? And I have realized in the now times, through a lot of therapy and a lot of self-reflection, that is not even the way to be a good friend to somebody. If you have a friend who is great to you, but they fall in that chart to their partner, or they fall in that chart to everybody else, that's not a good person, right? And so where I started to shift my own thinking around this wasn't just about my devotion to people I consider to be a friend, right? It was about more like, what's that analogy? Like, what do I want to fill my cup with, right? And I want to fill my cup, right? Either the water I want to drink, okay? Oh, thank you for another super sticker. Thank you. It won't show. There it goes. Thank you. Thank you. Is I want to put out love and empathy and understanding and protection for those who need it. And I want that in return. There's sometimes I need protection. There's sometimes that I need help, right? And if I don't have people on both sides of a relationship, me and the other person, who are in their best efforts trying to do that, then that's not a friendship. So when I reflect back on the 30 years of knowing Aaron Smith-Levin, it was very hard and sad for me to realize that he was never my friend. And he's not the first person in my life who I had that realization about. And wow, you know what they all have in common? Scientology. Okay. And that's not to say everybody who's ever done Scientology or who's raised in Scientology is a complete narcissistic sociopath psychopath, because then I would be saying that's what I am. I don't believe I'm that. If a psychiatrist told me otherwise, I would work on it. But when people are raised in an environment like that, the percentage or chance for them to become that is very high. Okay. And upon leaving that environment, if they don't, because society says, what the fuck are you? Start to think, maybe I'm different. Maybe I should try and be different and seek out help to do that. Then they're definitely that. Then they're definitely a narcissistic, psychopath. Aaron Smith-Levin is definitely one of those people. He has never sought out help. He believes he doesn't need it. It's a waste of money. These are things he said. This is not my opinions of things that, he's doing just fine without it. A lot of comments I get recently too are like, oh, you're just jealous. You're jealous. This is what I'm jealous of. A man who spent 22 days in jail, who is facing 2 criminal, charges, whose mistress just left him publicly, who has a wife who doesn't want anything to do with him, who has 3 daughters who reportedly don't want to have anything to do with him, who has no life outside of commandeering and commanding his tiny little cult of meat puppet women to do his bidding and be human meat shields for him. Absolutely not. I don't want any of that. I want none of it. Okay. None. I have a loving wife who wants me to be near her and hold her and love her every day. I have 4 wonderful, successful, beautiful children who I would fucking jump in front of a train for, and they love me. I have my mom who's healthy. I have a beautiful family and beautiful life and beautiful friends. Like, what the fuck do I have to be jealous of? Of him? Are you joking? What the fuck? Angie Mo Dog Mom, thank you for this super chat. The change in the person you are today compared to who you were a year ago is quite remarkable. So proud and glad to see you in a better place. Thank you for that. It's been, guys, we're going to get to the other comments here in a minute. It's just, I'm getting distracted and I apologize. But when he says such ignorant things about mental health, I know he doesn't like me. That's fine. Don't like me. Talk about how fat and ugly I am or something, okay? Like, I get it. I'm fat. I'm short. You don't want to fuck me. It's all good. But when you demonize mental health and you try to degrade me by saying that if I'm the poster child for what therapy does, then nobody should get therapy. Not only is so fucking Scientology that you may as well just stand out in front of the CCHR building on Sunset and help people get tours, okay, is so destructive in today's, conversation about mental health. And triple that by factoring in that you, sir, are the president of a foundation that claims to be the place for people inside a trauma fucking hell zone to come get help. This is why AARON Smith-LEVIN has to go away, because he's dangerous. That is dangerous. That is dangerous for somebody like that to be in a position of power, to be in a position of trust, to help when they don't believe in it and they won't get it. Oh, Mommers, thanks for being here. And thank you for the super chat. That's very sweet. Lurking today, Nora, just want to say a lot of us went through many emotions when people started resigning from the board and had to find out our way to the truth. You were a wee white lighthouse in the stormy seas. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let's get back to this video here, guys. Let's get back to this video.
If his daughter, one day had to read about any of this stuff, even after he was convicted, Mila and Ashton wrote these character reference letters for Danny Masterson. And so let's look at it one more time. Here's what Mila had to say to defend convicted.
Lori, I'll answer your question. I don't know. That's the simplest answer to your question is I don't know. All this flying across the country for parties and photos, was that foundation money? Was that super chats or just private normal holidays? I cannot say with certainty whether foundation funds were or were not used for that. I don't know what the pay structure of the foundation is. Some foundations don't pay the board members or anything. Some pay board members a fuck ton, right? It just, there's different types of charities, and there's no rule that says that a charity cannot pay the people that work for it. Like PBS, right? Let's take PBS as an example. PBS is a charity, public broadcasting system. Their employees are paid, right? As they should be. So I don't know what the financial structure is. That's actually a question for Natalie. Now, 2 years ago in 2023, AARON claimed that he was making $20,000 a month from just his own YouTubes, right? From the super chats, the memberships, and all of the watch hours and the ads and things like that. I don't believe he's making that same amount of money now. I think he was living in a sort of, and I can't really, I want to be, I can make assumptions based on observation. It doesn't make them fact. So to be 100% on this, because we're asking like a financial question, I don't know. Their tax information should be publicly available, and there should show like expenditures and things like that, because they are a charity. The IRS requires them to have that publicly available. type of thing. That's kind of like part of the rules. So that would also be a resource to find that kind of stuff out. Okay.
Violent serial rapist, Danny Masterson. I'm writing this character letter on behalf of my dear friend, Danny Masterson, with whom I've had the privilege of sharing a significant part of my life. My name is Mila Kunis. I'm an actress, and I believe it's essential to share the remarkable influence Danny has had on my life and the lives of others. I first met Danny during our time working together on that 7
when she was a minor and faked her age and was kissing Ashton Kutcher on screen, even though he was a full-blown adult. Yeah.
show. And from the very beginning, I could sense his innate goodness and genuine nature. Throughout our time together, Danny has proven to be an amazing friend, confidant, and above all, an outstanding older brother figure to me. His caring nature and ability to offer guidance have been instrumental in my growth, both personally and professionally.
One of the most remarkable aspects of best-selling author in history. That would be the Bible and J.K. Rowling. But nice try. They're definitely not fake. Not half fake subscribers.
Danny's character is his unwavering commitment to discouraging the use of drugs. His influence on me in this regard has been invaluable. In an industry where the pressures and temptations of substance use can be overwhelming, Danny played a pivotal role in guiding me away from such destructive paths. His dedication to avoiding
why Jenna hasn't taken herself off of the fucking website or say, I'm not on the board anymore. She announced it. She said she had been off for months, of course, during one of the, 25 times that they break up. Nope, she's still on there. Here it is. She's still on there. There she is. Jenna, take yourself off the board website. What are we doing? Good grief.
All substances has inspired not only me, but also countless others in our circle. Danny's steadfastness in promoting a drug-free lifestyle has been a guiding light in my journey through the entertainment world.
Thank you. So as a member of a nonprofit, you have to pay less than 20% of your board and fundraising to members. Okay. So like whatever donations you get in, you have to pay less. Your budget is less than 20% of the total. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Aaron's just doing a repeat. This was literally to show, guys, this is why I'm saying this is totally calculated. He's been accused of abuse. I shouldn't say accused. Jenna revealed that he had been abusing her for 2 years. We already know he admitted to abusing Lindsay. He admitted to abusing Juliana and in his own video admitted to abusing Jenna. Then he took the video down. Now he has to show he's not abusive. So he has to bring up something to talk about that he knows, like chopping an onion, with no gloves on, will make him cry on cue. Thank you for the super chat. Acoustic Keys Band. Thank you. I appreciate you and all you say. He has mental cancer. So I think focusing on his symptoms like you would of someone with cancer could be effective. It's tough to not discuss his asinine behavior, but more as a patient. Yeah, I'm trying, and that's a good suggestion. That's a good mental suggestion for me to think about it. Yeah, because he has to do some content now, guys, that shows him as a human being, right? Because we'll look back at the other content and we'll see the difference between his facial expressions and everything, right?
And has helped me prioritize my well-being and focus on making responsible choices. His genuine concern for those around him and his commitment to leading by example make him an outstanding role model and friend. Danny's role as a husband and father to his daughter.
Just, Aaron, look it. It's so easy. Just have a box of Kleenex on your, should I mail him some? He doesn't have that on his thing. I could get some Kleenex.
There's been nothing short of extraordinary. Witnessing his interactions with his daughter has been heartwarming and enlightening. He prioritizes his family, education, happiness above all else, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to being a loving and responsible parent. As a father, he leads by example, instilling in her values that reflect integrity, compassion, and respect for others. Moreover, Danny has consistently displayed a profound sense of responsibility and care for those around him. He demonstrates grace and empathy.
It's just gross. Why read this whole thing? Are you trying to are you talking to yourself? That's my question. I got to fast forward a little bit. I can't keep hearing about Danny Masterson. How great he is. It's disgusting.
Of humility. Jesus. Hell of a letter. In conclusion,
it's a hell of a letter. Also, can I just ask a question? I'm going to ask a spicy question, guys. Fuck it. If Aaron has so many close personal friends, where was the welcome home party? Where was everybody? Why was he all alone? Questions. Smooth Steve in the house. What do you got to say today, Smooth Steve? You deserve a beer. The wheels of justice move slow comes to mind regarding Aaron's own undoing. Yeah. The speed at which people see the truth shouldn't deter you. No, I'm going to keep on keeping on, Steve. Thank you for that super chat. That's much appreciated. Yeah, justice does take a long time, guys. It really is a long, slow, arduous process. It's his go-to for the emotion and tears. Yeah, he has to talk about this for the tears to show up. Yeah, he would. He couldn't. He didn't even apologize to his wife in that video. He said some complimentary things about Heather, which was nice, but wasn't even emotional about the fact that his mistress had to get into his house while he's in jail. And like, sorry. I'm sorry that I did that to my wife. No, he's mad because his mistress wanted her toothbrush back from his bathroom. It's an inconvenience.
Wholeheartedly vouch for Danny Masterson's exceptional character and the tremendous positive influence he has had on me and the people around him. His dedication to leading a drug-free life and the genuine care he extends to others make him an outstanding role model and friend. Please feel free to reach out if you require any further information or clarification. I mean, guys, she wholeheartedly vouches for his exceptional character and tremendous positive influence, except for all the violent raping. As you have to understand, he was charged with raping 3 women. He's been documented to have raped at least 8 women in multiple decades, in multiple countries.
The way with which this man is getting angry about a convicted felon for harming women is shocking to me. But his followers, his cult followers were like, "Oh, Aaron's back. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I have those. I might somewhere in my archives. I'll have to look."
Both Scientologists and non-Scientologists. It was 4 or 5 other victims, maybe 4, testified at his trial, which was allowed as past bad acts witnesses. These women were allowed.
Yeah, there was multiple women who were not a part of the case who did testify.
To testify that these things happened to them, even though he was not being charged with those crimes for various reasons, statute of limitations being one of them. I mean, that's laying it on thick. Now, they said, "Oh my God, Danny's mom asked us to do this." It's like, yeah, but did she write it for you? I mean, you couldn't get a more glowing character reference and someone who's already been convicted. Okay, I want to read for you guys as well before we wrap it up. Ashton Kutcher's letter is really
blah, 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 blah.
Offensive.
Skip that.
In the letters and also in their sort of apology, non-apology video, was that they never actually ever acknowledged that they believed Danny Masterson's victims.
Correct. Because people who are part of a cult and are scared of that cult leader and believe that that cult leader has power, blackmail, some sort of influence over their future, will oftentimes not speak out and continue to protect the abuser. Just like Marilyn, Natalie, Cheryl, Rabbit, and Kelly Copter do for you. You are a self-admitted abuser of multiple women. And those 5 women, continue to protect you at all costs. Why? You threatened Jenna so many times during your video. There's more that I could say. I mean, I'm not going to make all the texts public. That's definitely not somebody who's threatening people all the time.
And the evidence that was presented at trial was overwhelming. Particularly the evidence.
And the evidence that you've provided about yourself, sir, is overwhelming.
Around how these incidents in most cases, many cases had been reported to Scientology. Scientology had investigated them. Scientology had found them to be true. Scientology silenced the victims, punished the victims. And, one of the things that really, became evident in this trial is that in Scientology, as a Scientologist, if you rape women, you will not be expelled.
Mm-hmm. And if in AARONtology, if you abuse women, you get to stay at the top. That's how that goes. If you are a philanderer against your wife in public, you get to stay at the top. I'll turn it back a little bit here, guys, because I sped it up.
If you're raped by a Scientologist and you report your rape to the police, you will be expelled.
Mm-hmm. If you're Jenna Miscavige or Lindsay or Juliana and you report the battery that this man did to you, you're out. Not just from him, from all the other people. All the other people. It's like literal Scientology disconnection. You're out.
For that. And, the fact that the horrific crimes of Danny Masterson were described in excruciating detail, the pain of the victims on full display, the abuse and the cover-up by Scientology, and that even after a unanimous verdict on 2 counts, all these 2 had to say was how great a guy Danny was. The implication being he could have never done these things.
That's what a character letter is. That's what a character letter is. Jess Wilco, thank you for the super chat. If he cared so much about the Jane Does, he wouldn't have made a scene in the courtroom. Correct. For those of you who don't know all of the info, in the early days of the trial, the second trial that he went to go cover for his channel, because he's a news reporter now, he got a press pass and everything, he was almost summarily kicked out of the courtroom and almost caused a mistrial for the Jane Does by doing bullshit shenanigans. Yeah. Or showing up high and hungover. Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Yep. And I just want to say this, and this is my personal opinion. He went to the Jane Doe trial for clout. They did not ask him to come. He made it clear to them that he would be the only person to tell the real story with no embellishments, with no focus on himself. Because, Tony Ortega had been covering it, and Tony Ortega has been covering Scientology for 30 years. And several times during the coverage of the Danny Masterson trial, talked about things that shouldn't have been talked about outside of the courtroom, and ran a story that one of the Jane Does, I cannot recall which one, specifically asked Tony Ortega to not do, and he did it anyway. Because Tony Ortega, like AARON Smith-LEVIN, only cares about himself and his profits and being the one with the scoop. Right? Yeah, he went to go shit in Tony Ortega's mouth. Like, I do better coverage than you, right? It wasn't about showing support, love, empathy, care for the victims of these horrific crimes, for making sure that their stories were being told the way they wanted them told. It was about being the most important person in the room. I feel bad for the Jane Does. They think this person actually gives a shit about them. He doesn't give a shit about them. He gives a shit that he is their sole go-to guy to talk about the case, to talk about their feelings in the case. The truth of the matter is, those women owe nobody anything. They don't ever have to talk publicly about it to anyone. Okay? They went and did what they did in that courtroom, and they put an evil, disgusting, vile person behind bars. They have done more than enough. Anyone who sits out here and calls themselves whatever you want, I'm a journalist, I'm an activist, whatever the fuck label you've put on yourself in regards to speaking about Scientology, if you think for 1 minute that any survivor of Scientology or anything else owes you something and should be giving you, talking to you, providing you, check yourself. Check yourself. None of us owe anybody anything. And the second we stop enforcing that or agreeing to that, allowing that to be done to us, the faster that we will start making massive inroads in actually taking apart Scientology. Right? We don't owe anybody anything. Zero. And this man, like Tony Ortega, thinks that all ex-Scientologists should only come to them, only talk to them, only be introduced to the rest of the world via them. Because why? They're the best person to do it. Who told them that? Oh, is he live now? Oh, what's he talking about? That's me. I went to the wrong channel.
The letter?
Let's see. Is he live? Let's see what he's doing.
And herpes. Unfortunately, she was not able to be cured of the norovirus, which she is riddled with and is unfortunate.
Here we go.
Eric, not to be in a is back. Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day. Not to be in a cult. Okay, guys, we are going to pop in.
I mean, Aaron is the one that's having unprotected sex continuously. So the likelihood of syphilis and other sexual diseases living and enjoying fornication of their own inside of someone's body would most likely be inside of that vessel.
On Scientology's Winter Wonderland in downtown Clearwater. Feral Cheryl is down there. Erica is down there. Jamie is down there. Erica PTS. Oh, no, Definite Trouble Source. Definite Trouble Source is down there.
He's got to name off his crew. This is his crew. They're still loyal to Aaron. They think that being a self-admitted abuser of women is A-okay. He just named them off. Erica, Cheryl. Who is the other one? What was the other one?
Definite Trouble Source is down there.
That's Erica. But she doesn't really have a channel.
Source. Definite Trouble Source is down there.
Oh, Jesus. I got it.
Winter Wonderland in downtown Clearwater. Feral Cheryl is down there. Erica is down there. Jamie is down there. Erica PTS. Oh, no, Definite Trouble Source. Definite Trouble Source is down there. DTS, as she's known on the streets. Jamie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is down there. Now, one of the reasons, this isn't going to be a very long stream, guys, because I actually got to get out of here. But one of the things I wanted
Where's he going?
To show you is how empty downtown Clearwater is, even when there's an extra special free winter Christmas event being put on by Scientology.
Yeah. Now, he can't go there because there's an order of protection. So, yeah, he can't go expose it. But he sent 3 of his cult followers out to go do it for him.
It's nothing like
he's not even going to go to Target 2 to talk about it.
Scientology's Winter Wonderland on Hollywood Boulevard.
No, that's
where at least there's a lot of activity.
The Hollywood Boulevard Christmas parade is the largest Christmas parade in America
because it's, on Hollywood Boulevard. And because we're talking about, downtown Clearwater and Scientology, I actually have a letter from my lawyer that I'd like to share with you guys. I'd like to begin.
Oh, good. Let's dive in.
Tonight's stream with a letter from our lawyer. It begins
from our lawyer. Now he really is Tony Ortega
saying,
Dusty's not there and SP Danny's not there because they have retired the two men with integrity to not stand side by side with abusers of women. So please go give SP Danny and Dusty Soda Fountain a subscribe.
After thorough research, we have determined that AARON Smith-LEVIN is an exceptional human being who has, to the best of our knowledge, never actually done anything wrong, and that will be our
That's so. Notice yesterday he read the stuff from Ashton and Mila, totally made fun of them for writing these letters about a despicable, disgusting human being, and today has written himself, or probably Cheryl or Marilyn, wrote a mock character letter about AARON. This is my case in point.
Defense in court. That is amazing. It continues on. He has even been observed by some to have performed miracles on the order of that of Jesus himself, including on one occasion, as reported by many, having cured Nora Ames of leprosy and herpes.
Okay. Yeah, I'd rather be a hemorrhoid than a walking STD. Join the internet hemorrhoid community today. Yeah, I couldn't concur more. I couldn't concur more. Oh, he's not going to show the letter because it was written by, yeah, Clearwater's empty. Oh, we've known that for several decades. Like, this is not breaking news. Look at him. He just wants to throw out there that I have an STD because we know that his disgusting penis probably is carrying a lot. That might be why he's sick. He should go to the doctor.
Unfortunately, she was not able to be cured of the norovirus, which she is riddled with and is unfortunately fatal.
It's fatal. So he wants me to be dead, guys. That's not a threat.
Okay. That is some sad news.
Yeah, sad news that I'm going to die because he wants me to be dead. Don't get it twisted, guys. That's a death threat. That's not hyperbole. That's not like, oh, you're overreacting. No. He says that I have an insanely fake disease that is fatal, and it's sad that that's going to happen. Oh, AARON. I'm not going anywhere.
It does continue on, though. In any videos talking about protesting in downtown Clearwater, nothing in this video should be interpreted as any attempt to communicate with any of the alleged victims in my client's outstanding misdemeanor.
Now he's making a mockery of the fact that he has literally 2 charges against him and an order of protection that is very specific, that he is not to try to communicate or intimidate, etc., like all these things, via any means, any person or electronic or, communications.
Misdemeanor battery cases, nor should any of it be interpreted as an effort to get anyone else to communicate on AARON's behalf with any of the alleged victims in the ongoing misdemeanor battery case.
It's misdemeanor. There's no Z. Misdemeanor.
Cases. All protesting should be peaceful and abide by all applicable laws. Okay, well, that's very good news, except for the unfortunate prognosis for Nora's case of the norovirus. That is unfortunate. That having been said, let's check in on the Winter Wonderland stream in downtown.
He thinks that, first of all, I have no feelings about that whatsoever. I have no feelings about him calling me a virus, saying I have a virus, wanting me to die, because he's evil. And I see him for what he is. He is a practicing Scientologist who is running his own cult, a self-admitted abuser of multiple women, who is so lazy that he will not traverse outside of his house even to go to the Target 2 area to tell people, hey, don't go see that Santa Claus. It's Scientology. Because he'd rather have his minions go do that for me. Hang on one second. Oh, hi, guys. Hi, I love you. My dogs had to make an entrance. I apologize. No, that's not. It's not a real letter from his lawyer. That's an imaginary letter from his lawyer that was obviously written by him while he was taking a shit.
Town Clearwater. This comes to us courtesy of Feral Cheryl.
Feral Cheryl, thanks for sharing her channel. The number 2 supporter of abusers of women, Feral Cheryl, at Feral Cheryl on the loose. Make sure to let her know, if you want, why supporting abusive men is bad. Yeah.
She is the only one down there streaming, to the best of my knowledge.
So and one streamer
they've been down there for about 45 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use this version right here. Guys, this is right.
Hello.
Dab. Is that you would think the Scientologist, the more years go by that which is the prison planet, perfect sense to me. That I didn't at the time feel that we were trying to misrepresent ourselves as people who believed in God or Jesus or anything like that. 6:45. Okay, that's Erica doing her little dance in front of the entrance. Oh, there's Cheryl.
This is protesting.
Cheryl. That's funny because we're looking at Cheryl's scarf, though. He does not like that. From other continents, to feel more comfortable being out there if it's in broad daylight, to avoid being out at night.
Oh, let's hear why he's not there.
To remind everyone or tell everyone who hadn't already seen my previous stream, I have decided to protest personally in downtown Clearwater tomorrow.
He's decided, guys. But don't forget, he also needs multiple people to be human meat shields around him at all times to protect him from weirdos.
I'm getting a lot of requests and messages on Facebook, emails of brand new people who want to come out and join us for the first time. We're going to be starting early tomorrow. I'm going to be starting early, and I'm going to be planning on maybe going a little longer than normal. I'm trying to avoid being out at nighttime. I don't know why. I'm going to feel more comfortable being out there for the first time.
A 6'2", 230-pound man feels uncomfortable at night with other people. What?
Since getting arrested, I'm going to feel more comfortable being out there if it's in broad daylight. No questions about anything that's happening. No one's sneaking up on anybody.
Because no one's ever been assaulted or battered or snuck up on in daylight.
And I want to put some people's mind at ease. I absolutely understand everyone's concern that Scientology is going to try to do anything and everything to get me wrapped up in some sort of trouble and pick up another charge and send me back to jail.
Guys, I don't even have him going that fast. There might be a situation. Yeah. Yes. But again, let's be clear. It is not Scientology that he is battling. It is the state of Florida. He did something to a member of the Church of Scientology, one of their indentured servants. That person pressed charges. The officers of the court looked at the incident and said, yes, crime, we are going to pursue. Scientology can yell and scream all they want about whatever. Anybody can yell and scream all they want about this is a crime, that's a crime, I feel wronged, all of that kind of stuff. It does not matter unless there's an actual crime and the powers of the wheels of justice decide to pursue that through the legal court system. Okay? The state's attorney was like, yeah, that's crime. The officer who looked at Aaron's own video of the chalk incident said, that's a crime. Anyone with 2 eyeballs or even 1 eyeball can see that what he did was a crime. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing. I agree. Thank you. Thank you. You want to go out? Are you okay? Come here. You want to go outside? Go on. Okay, you're fine? You're just getting pumped up about it? Okay. She's just getting pumped up about it, guys. She just got pumped up because that's what we're talking about. Even Charlie thinks so. Even Charlie thinks so, guys. This idea, and this idea flows forth from the 3 criminals who are like, except for Tony doesn't think it's Scientology. He tried that. Anyway, but Scott and Aaron cannot take responsibility for their own actions. Okay? Does Scientology work tirelessly to try and fuck people up so that they do end up in the justice system, and then they spend lots of money to harass the justice system to try and come up with an outcome in their favor? Yes. Absolutely. Did they send people every day to court to try and intimidate the Jane Does? Yes. Okay. It still has to be for a criminal case, the state or county versus the individual. It is never, and if it is Scientology v. Aaron, then that is a civil case. That is not a criminal case. Okay? Like that's the thing that we had. Scientology is putting a lot of effort into it. Of course they are. Number 1, it happened to one of them. Let's not forget that person's a Scientologist. Okay? And number 2, it happened to one of their indentured servants. Number 3, was this all a setup to provoke Aaron because he's a fucking man baby child and can't control his emotions because he's a narcissistic sociopathic psychopath? And they knew one day he was going to hurt somebody? Yes! And then could they use that to prove that all people who leave the church and speak out about it are all that also? Yes! That still doesn't change the fact that this guy is supposed to be a 45-year-old adult human being who should absolutely, under every circumstance, if you're going to go out and protest, be able to control his actions, his temper, okay, and everything else. And he cannot. And he, on his own volition, via his own decision-making, ran up to that indentured servant and not once, but 2 times threw huge parts of a 5 to 10 pound bag of chalk on an individual toward his face, in his face, on his person. It doesn't matter. And they called the police. And the police looked at the video and said, "Do you want to press charges?" And they said, yes, because the police recognized that action as a crime. Okay? So, despite our feelings about the indentured servants, despite our knowledge of Scientology and its nefariousness, that individual is a human being who is currently living, working, whatever you want to call it, kind of existing inside of that compound. Aaron Smith-Levin put himself in that space and did that thing. Those are all the facts. Everything else is fucking conjecture, hyperbole. Okay? Should he have gone to jail that long? Is it really that big a deal? The guy was faking it. It doesn't matter. A crime still occurred. Even if in all of our minds, it's an insignificant bullshit, whatever, right? It's a crime. The officer of the law was like, that's a crime. The person who's the victim of the crime said, I want to press charges. The charges were pressed. The DA looked at it and said, yes, we will move this case forward. and proceeded to a legal case. AARON, instead of taking the advice of the district attorney to like, hey man, maybe just cool it. Maybe just like, let's not, maybe don't. Let's just let this thing blow over. I'm sure he was getting a lot of shit from Scientology. He doesn't want to fucking talk to those people. He's got actual things to prosecute other than chalk. Because a man baby threw chalk at a fucking slave, inside of a religious nut house. Like literally, we have way bigger problems than that right now in the world. Thank you so much, Firehorse, Cuddly Floof, for this super sticker. Very sweet. And he wouldn't do it. Why? Because it's about him. He's going to be out there. He's going to do it. He's going to be the big champion that we all need, that we all must have. AARON Smith-LEVIN. Right? Okay.
I get that. I want to stress that the judge's main problem with me stemmed from her belief that I had, through my videos, not my protesting activity, through my videos, violated the spirit of the protection order.
Oh, you mean saying the guy's whole name over and over on a video and making accusations about him to 250,000 people on the internet?
And that some of my videos, she felt, were encouraging people to go and somehow communicate with one or more of the alleged Scientology Sea Org member victims in one of these, either or of these misdemeanors.
Didn't you ask people to find them? Wouldn't it be funny if so-and-so, I'm pretty sure. I'll comb through the videos myself and find it.
Misdemeanor battery case.
Now, these are people, again, that his foundation, remember, guys, the foundation, this one, we're here to empower people who want to leave Scientology and those who have already left by offering support during their transition into mainstream society and beyond. Whether someone's taking their first steps out or has been out for years, we aim to provide resources, connection, and practical assistance to help them build a life on their own terms. We offer tangible support so people can focus on rebuilding their lives. How does throwing chalk in someone's face help empower them to even want to leave Scientology? How does running after women down your street after a natural disaster, screaming at them to run, empower people to want to leave Scientology? How does shoving your phone in people's face, asking them disgusting questions, empower them to want to leave Scientology? Questions. I keep pausing at all these great spots.
The judge never took any issue, not at all, not even once, with anything that ever happened at any of my protest live streams since she issued the order of protection.
Has she seen all of them? I don't think she's watched. That's a lot of hours.
Okay. The judge was pretty clear about that. And so since we're going to be going out there early, we're going to have plenty of people there. The sun is going to be shining. If anyone comes up to me and tries to start anything, I'm going to run away like a little bitch. Okay.
Are you? Are you going to shove Erica into them or Cheryl? Make sure you get one of your lady meat shields to, stand between you, because, can't have you getting harmed, because if AARON gets harmed, then the whole movement, guys, is over. The whole movement is over.
Okay, that's my pledge to you guys.
He has his Mac reactions turned on. That's kind of hilarious.
There's none of this stand my ground, mutual combat stuff.
The guy who did, you know, jujitsu and used to have his jujitsu gis behind him on his wall. Mm-hmm.
I'll run away like a goddamn Energizer bunny.
Oh, the leprosy thing was right at the top.
Okay. I'm going to do everything I can to stay away from any sort of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the decision that I feel good about.
I feel good about it. He feels great, guys. I'm sorry, I keep pausing it at bad time.
Okay. So I think I'm going to be out there by 4:00 tomorrow. I hope to go until.
Why 4:00? It's already dark. You just said you wanted to be out in daylight. It's like he doesn't know that it's like winter and the night sky starts getting dark at 4.
At least 7.
It's going to be very dark, Aaron. I don't know if you'll feel safe.
30. And that's the plan. Okay, so let's get back to Cheryl's stream here. Oh, maybe she thought, oh my goodness, how many people does Cheryl have watching this right now? I'm afraid to mess up the screen.
6.
Living in Clearwater, generally speaking,
Jamie.
whatever day of the week.
If anybody
Christmas
knows that
was
kid,
on,
Jamie, please.
Staff members who had worked would
Please,
normally
like,
work
honestly,
from 9 in the morning to 10 at night.
someone talk to
would
him
get
about
go
getting
home
out
at
of this
6 or
cult.
6:30 of protests
He
in the
seems like a
park.
nice
Okay, good.
kid.
That's actually a good point, Vicky. I forgot to. Busiest intersections. Yeah, you'll have no trouble finding parking. I will be at Target 2.
Oh, good.
Otherwise known as the mobile gas station at 500 South Fort Harrison Avenue.
Because he has to have a potty.
And the intersection there is Chestnut. Nope. Court and Fort Harrison.
Okay.
That's the
Remember where
Court
you're
Street
standing, Aaron.
and Fort Harrison Avenue.
Yeah, come on.
One of the it is either the first only works in the one building. I'm supposed to stay 500 feet away from any Scientology building in downtown Clearwater.
Yes.
So that is why we'll be at Target 2.
So he can't have the protesters just fucking go protest. They have to be with him. I just want to point that out again, guys. If it's about bringing the message directly to Scientologists, okay, and doing this, empowering people who want to leave Scientology, wouldn't it make more sense to have people near the Scientologists that could say, hey, if you've ever thought about leaving or you need help, I'm here. I can help you. Because it's not about that. It's about him controlling his cult, okay, his diet Scientology, online YouTube Arontology, Scientology, whatever. I got to think of a good name for it. To keep generating income for him, because it's a multi-level marketing scam, just like Scientology. Okay, he's at the top, the other people are down, and you only get more stuff if you give to the top, right? How many times has Feral Cheryl, Marilyn, Natalie, Kelly, Rabbit done super chats to Aaron? And how many times has he given a super chat to them? Because there is no trickle down in a multi-level marketing scam. That's not how that works. He never gives back. It's literally YouTube Scientology. Okay.
Let's say tomorrow, I think we should plan on the protest going from 4 to 7.
Why only 4 to 7? What if people want to get out there at 2? Are they not allowed to protest? What if they want to stay till 8? Can they? I guess it's only 4 to 7 because Aaron is in charge. You see, he set the schedule. What if people want to stay till course ends at 9 o'clock? Wouldn't that make sense to stay there until the Scientologists leave to go home for the night? No. That's late. I'm tired. Ew.
4 p.m. to 7 p.m., maybe 4 to 7:30. I don't know if my battery on my phone will last that long.
Get a power pack. Why is that everybody else's problem? that you don't know how to go to Amazon and go to Anchor and get a fucking battery pack that will extend the battery of your phone? See, he says things like that, and then watch. Within 24 hours, one of his cult followers will gift him a fucking battery pack, which he will then promptly not use because, it's bulky. You have to plug it in. I don't like it. It's too big, blah, blah, blah. He's incapable of being a whole human by himself. He doesn't know how to do that. He wants servants and slaves like David Miscavige does. So he has his women who support men abusing women squad. Marilyn, Cheryl, Rabbit, Kelly, and Natalie. Yeah.
But that's the plan for right now. All right, let's see what the action is over with Mr.
72 degrees. I'm wearing my leathers tonight.
It's 72. No one needs a leather jacket in 72-degree weather, but that's just. Look how unsafe it is out there at night, guys, in Florida. Just be terrified.
Boom.
Be terrified.
Good. Okay, we've got this set up as a redirect. Let's do a redirect. And there might be some additional protest streams on Saturday, 500 feet.
Oh, wait, what?
Says, we are close to Clearwater. My mom is a big fan of AARON. Maybe we will join a protest soon. Will the protest be on Saturdays? No, our protests are always going to be on.
No. Quickly, no. Why not? Why not a protest on Saturday? Also, Chelsea, whoever you are, this is America. The Constitution guarantees your right to protest wherever the fuck you want. So you can go do what you want. You and your mom can show up and do your own protest. Oh, super chat from Janet. I'm coming back to this content after a year break. I just have to ask, did you see this phase coming where he has these followers and served? Oh, no. Like I said earlier, Janet, I was blinded by my incorrect and harmful to me and other people definition of friendship. No. Yeah.
On Fridays. There might be some additional protest streams on Saturdays if there's some sort of a special event at the Flag Land base, but I will not be at those events because I can't be within 500 feet of any of the buildings on the Flag Land base.
Now Aaron made an announcement when he did Liz Gale's video that he has so much time. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He has a wife, but he doesn't currently have a wife and a girlfriend. And he's rested now from jail. So great. Just got some R&R there in the jail. And why isn't he protesting every day? If it's so important that he be outside protesting, it's the only reason Scientology is upset right now. Why not go every day? Why not go stand at Target 2 all day? Oh, because you'd be by yourself. And then how's it about you? How do you get your dancing sycophants to come and praise you? He's like a culty succubus. He's got to have everybody tell him how great he is.
And so that's what is up. All right, guys. Well, I got to get out of here anyway. Let's do a redirect and a room rate to Cheryl's.
Yeah, he's got to go get his drink on at the bar. I guarantee, I'm sure, or maybe he has a date. Maybe the ladies of Clearwater haven't seen this gem yet. I'm going to bring this up here. I wanted, to help Aaron out. And so I made this. Let's see. Here we go. Well, I made two. So let's just watch both of them. Let's just watch both of the tiki-talkies. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen, Nora. Of the tiki-talkies that I made. Here we go.
In order to defeat your enemy, you must become your enemy. And so I will become my own worst enemy. In order
Sorry. All right. And this is the last one.
Attention, single ladies of Clearwater, allow me to introduce to you our newest, most eligible-ish bachelor, AARON Smith-LEVIN. That's right, ladies, he is still married to his wife of 25 years and is not actively seeking divorce, but don't let that deter you. He has his very own bachelor pad to bring you back to. And if you're looking for that strong man, look no further, ladies. He is strong enough to pick you up and throw you against the nearby wall. Do not speak with his exes or anyone who knows him personally because they're full of lies. Please trust only his selected women who love abusers, Women Squad, and let's introduce them now. First we have Marilyn, Cheryl, Natalie, Kelly, and of course Rabbit. Contact them because they love supporting abusers.
Yes.
Attention.
Yes, I made that. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's also a short on the channel here on YouTube. Give it a like. All right, guys. This is, yeah. Let's take this seriously. I'm going to keep exposing, this human skin wearing sack of garbage until everyone and their grandmama can see that he is a truly dangerous figure, should not be the figurehead of anything except for, the ship taking him on a long voyage of a lot of therapy. A lot of therapy. You just got blocked by Cheryl because you stuck up for her? That's a cult. That's a cult. She and all of their little people, hello, welcome to the AARON culties. Literally, they are watching you here. There's spies in here. Spies, I tell you. That's someone who's in a cult. Feral Cheryl is in a cult. She will not remove her loyalty from a self-espoused fucking abuser of women. And she's blocking you after you defended her. I hope that opens your eyes a little bit. Okay? Because AARON Smith-LEVIN is a prolific, self-admitted abuser of women, a narcissistic, sociopathic psychopath who is facing 2 charges, who continues this behavior, attacking people's husbands for no reason that have nothing to do with anything, with absolutely slanderous, libelous accusations that will be met in a court of law, okay, with a lawsuit. So if he thinks he's fucked now, maybe he should have some consideration for the future of his children and his actual wife. And maybe don't lose all of his money because he's hurting people constantly. Okay? This is what I say. When these people, Marilyn, Cheryl, Natalie, Rabbit, and Kelly Copter, these women specifically, okay? I'm talking to these women specifically because they are women supporting a man who admits that he abuses women. In my personal opinion, there is nothing more vile on planet Earth than women who empower men to hurt other women. Okay? They need to be called out. They need to be held accountable because they are endorsing, they are pumping up, and they are encouraging this dangerous man's actions. And the more he's out there, the more dangerous he is. He was very excited to leave the stream. I'm going to guess he has a date. Beware, ma'am. This man will want to fuck you, which is not a crime. He will not wear protection. Also not a crime, just bad hygiene. And also, please stop doing that. You've already impregnated 2 women that weren't your wife and forced them to have abortions. Like, maybe go get a fucking vasectomy at this point. Okay. You and Cheryl were close friends. Would you say that's an accurate assessment of your friendship right now? No? Yeah. It's not about if Marilyn plays with the chalk or not. But here you want to know my problem with Marilyn? I very briefly, because this has already been very long and I was trying to end off. I have to take care of my family now. Where did it go? I had it on my screen and then it's just open it up this way. Sorry. I'm talking to myself. This is my major problem with Marilyn right now. Okay. When oh, here we go. So Aaron's video entitled "The Truth About Me and Jenna Miscavige, It's Not Good," the one that he took down, where you will recall for over 2 hours he spent disparaging, demeaning, degrading, defaming, demoralizing Jenna Miscavige. Okay. This one. Okay. We go through all of that, says all this nasty shit, admits that he battered Jenna in his home. And then what's the first thing out of her mouth after hearing all of that and having already talked to Jenna? Right? He thinks he's actually been a good boyfriend because he slept with Lindsay and then he's like, I'm only sticking my penis in one vagine, so I'm good. I apologized. No, you didn't. You actually didn't. And also you tried to destroy Lindsay on the internet. Just had to get in one more zigger. Can you guys not hear Aaron? Can you hear it or no? You don't hear him. Why is that? No sound. Okay, hold on. Yes. Oh, I know what I can do. Yeah, sometimes it does that when I'm sharing windows on my screen. But thank God I've got a backup plan. Rumble for the win. There's both the videos that were taken down if you guys want to go see them. So we should be able to hear this. Let me know.
No, that's what you've been
doing. You guys hear that?
Sending
now?
around little screenshots, making up this absolute lie about how I've threatened to kill myself. You're so disgusting. I have all the times when you said that I was your forever person. And
can you guys hear that? Yes. Okay, perfect. So what's happening? Okay. Here we go.
Shit that happened with Lindsay for a couple weeks. I've apologized profusely for that.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the greatest mistake of my life. But it turns out that the real greatest mistake of my life has been this relationship.
Yeah. It's so awful.
I tried everything that I could. I knew it wouldn't be good enough. My friends knew it wouldn't be good enough.
His friends knew it wouldn't be good enough. So in destroying Jenna and torturing her for 2 years and breaking up with her, he also ensured that he kept all of the people. Kept all of the people.
My closest friends have been telling me for a fucking year, Aaron, this will never change. This will never get better. It's all going to blow up eventually.
This will never change. This will never get better. It's all going to blow up eventually. Did that mean because you're a fucking asshole and abuser and you obviously aren't going to stop doing that?
I said, I know. I know. Thank you for putting up with me anyway. Thank you for supporting me anyway.
Thank you for supporting me anyway. Here comes Marilyn. What's the first thing Marilyn says to him?
Friend to me anyway. Hi, Marilyn.
He spent 2 hours, guys. We are at the 2 hour and 5 minute mark, shitting all over Jenna. And she's laughing with him.
We love you, Aaron.
We love Aaron. You see how culty that is, guys? Look at this culty interaction.
I've been saying the same thing to Jenna because, and I get yelled at for it sometimes, but I want
by Aaron.
to see both of you be happy. And the overall comments in this chat has been hugely supportive to both of you. Nobody wants to take.
See, now she's just going to talk in circles. She tried for like a half second to like fucking be like, you guys both made mistakes. No. But her first words to Aaron are, we love Aaron. Ah! That's my beef. If people are like, what's your beef with Marilyn? That's the beef. The beef is literally not only is she supporting an abuser, she put her whole ass on the fucking live to be like, we love Aaron. Yeah. She's scared. I think she's scared of Aaron, frankly. I think she's terrified. Why is she terrified? Because if Aaron comes out against Marilyn, let's just say, it won't happen because she's his staunchest defender. But let's say one day Marilyn's like, I'm done. And she publicly says, I don't support Aaron. He abuses women and I'm no longer going to collaborate with him or support him. Like just like a vanilla statement like that. Not even apologizing for the sport, nothing. Just like, I'm not going to do it anymore. He would spend at least a month reading out her texts, playing the voicemails she's left him, anything she's ever said about anybody else that thinks that they're friends with her. He would absolutely contact those people to try and make sure that they really knew what Marilyn really thought. She's scared. That's what Scientology does. Scientology keeps records of everything you do, of everything you think about, of every person you talk to and what you said to them, what you've thought about, what they said to you, etc. And on and on and on and on. He would destroy her utterly. Now, do I think Marilyn deserves that? I don't. I don't think anyone deserves to be crushed into oblivion by anyone. And that's not even what I said I wanted to do to Aaron. For the people listening who think that that's what I'm trying to do. No. The point is that Aaron is a dangerous person. He is a danger to himself. He's a danger to everyone around him. He is a danger to anyone who reaches out to the SPTV Foundation for any form of help. He is not a good person. He does not care about helping anyone. He only cares about himself. And if he and Marilyn got in a car wreck and he got himself out of the car and then he noticed that the car was on fire, I shouldn't use a fire analogy with Marilyn. That was a bad one, Marilyn. I take that back. But let's just say the car, would Aaron try to get her out? Would he call 911? Or would he just run from the scene because he probably killed his friend? I don't think he'd try to rescue anybody. Aaron's never done anything like that in his whole life. Ever. So, be careful, lady out there in Clearwater, Florida, whoever is having dinner with Aaron Smith-Levin tonight, or drinks, or whatever the fuck you're doing. Watch out. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to keep breaking more stuff down. We got a lot more Scientology stuff to break down and a lot more ways to show you that that man over there is running his own little Scientology cult and he needs to be stopped. Thank you to all the people who subscribed today, who gave me a super chat. That's so generous. Thank you to all the new members and the old members. I love you both. And of course, to my lady mods, the best mods in the business. Thank you so much for keeping this stream going, for keeping me on track. I cannot do it without you. I hope you guys enjoyed the horizontal stream. We'll keep zhuzhing it up in here in the studio. But there you go. I have a chatter. I don't know who that is, Dastardly Saboteur. I'm not. This is a silly question. In a way, I'm leaving, but it's a silly question. I want to bring it up. Am I aware that I have a chatter that has a restraining order for harassing a woman in her family? How could I possibly know that? None of you, I shouldn't say none of you, most of you are not using your real name. I'm also not doing a background check on random people on the internet who come into a stream to say something. So no, I have no idea about that. Also, that's not a mark on me because someone else did a crime somewhere and then they're here on my stream. That's not a correct correlation. Anyway, thank you to the Mod Squad. I love you, and I will see you all on the flippity-dippity.